The sun shining brightly on downtown Philadelphia. That's the setting for our broadcast today. Welcome aboard, everybody. This is Wednesday Night Basketball of the NBA on 2K Sports. In this one, you'll see the Philadelphia 76ers against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and a pair of Hall of Famers with us, Doris Burke and David Aldridge. DA, take it away.
Well, small ball has become trend in the NBA, but it might be more accurate to call it average ball. With defensive switching twice as common as it was 5 years ago, the demand is rising for players of average NBA height, and that's around 6'7". Kevin, that's affected not just the big men, but the vertically challenged guys as well.
Point forwards and big guards in demand. DA, you're right. Thank you. We're looking forward to the center matchup tonight, Doris. What do you expect to see from these guys inside?
Well, I think there's a requisite physicality in there, certainly. At the same time, there are greater demands on big men, Kevin, than we have ever seen before. Yes, they have to be rim protectors. Yes, they have to control the paint. But now those bigs are asked to defend in space, to guard on the perimeter. Kevin, you know this. That's a tall task.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Covington at the 4 with Towns in at the 5. Teague is at the point with Wiggins at the 2. And it's Graham in at the small forward position. And for Philadelphia, the tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. Richardson against Wiggins. Outside, Simmons. To the paint. Here's Embiid. No good that time. Towns with the defensive effort. Richardson against Wiggins. The pass to Graham. No good on the triple. And so Simmons will bring it up for the 76ers. Wiggins with it, and it's Richardson picking him up. Wiggins kicks to Teague. Back to Wiggins. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Teague with the ball. Coming off a solid outing against Miami. Shot clock at 2, and it's blocked by Simmons.
How about the balance and body control? Simmons able to send that one packing.
Oh, my goodness! Wow. What a play!
Yeah, whenever Simmons a chance to show off his insane jumping skills, he seizes it.
Towns. And Embiid with the block. And he's able to get it back. Another miss by Minnesota.
Yet another miss. Just 1 for 5. Not exactly an ideal start.
Richardson kicks to Simmons. Pass to Embiid. Inside. Horford on the assist by Embiid.
To me, that play is about focus from Al Horford. Just extraordinary body control on the finish. Nice.
Timberwolves have gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter. Teague the pass to Towns. Here's Wiggins, and denied. He sends it. Teague the D. Solid defense from Harris.
The defense on that possession, they had to be from him. Deflect that pass.
They talk about it in football. We see it right there.
2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Richardson against Wiggins. Richardson right side. Here's Eid, and the rejection by Towns. And he makes his first shot of the game.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. Well, maybe not the most well-known player in the league, but Josh Richardson has been a force of offense, and Greggy's done it for a while now.
A bit of a specialist, but Richardson has no problem putting up and making threes. breakdown stats for Covington. Last year, getting it done. Averaged about 13 points, just over 2 steals and 5 rebounds. And love his anticipation. All those steals, he's always a step ahead, reading plays before they develop.
There's a sneakiness, a craftiness. You think he's not watching, and suddenly he's taking the ball in the other direction.
T kicks to Wiggins. Can they get it? The shot's good.
Well, nice decision on the pick and roll. Wiggins getting his own offense within the flow.
Now, here's Richardson. Last time out, he had 14 points. Outside, Simmons. Over Teague, and it's Simmons. That time on the assist by Richardson. Simmons got his second bucket of the night.
Well, the size advantage playing part there just calmly rises and fires.
Here's Teague. Covington trying to break free. Teague can't hit.
And you know, you can't impact a shot that close any better than he did on that possession.
Boy, whether he blocks it or simply alters it, the result is pretty much the same.
Fades back. Embiid, no good.
Well, if the defense gives him that shot next time, they could get burned. I think he's just a little bit out of rhythm.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Richardson against Covington. Passes it to Horford. Outside, Simmons. Back over Wiggins. Nice follow through on the fadeaway.
You have to contest shots no matter where Al Horford is on the floor. That time, he's working the mid-range.
And there's the pass to Towns. Back to Teague. And Philadelphia grabs the miss.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench. If he keeps shooting it like that, he has been putrid here this quarter.
2 shots, foul, elbow, 2.
Well, we knew that Tobias Harris would be one of the big names during free agency this past summer.
Wasn't a lot of speculation for him when free agency hit. Ends up staying with the Sixers, and I think it makes sense for both sides, and he fits nicely next to Embiid.
No good on that one. Whereas for some players now in their second seasons, you can tell just how big the jump is between that first year and their second year in the league.
I think, Kevin, it's probably the single biggest growth opportunity. One of the things that happens is the game slows down for second-year players. Very rarely do you see a guy take a step backwards. They're comfortable, they're more confident, and they know what to expect. Dilemma that jumps out at me with the Timberwolves. Over the years, they have been an excellent offensive rebounding team. It's the other end, the defensive backboards, where they have had some problems.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Minnesota calls timeout. And Doris, you're right. Over the last 5 seasons, the Timberwolves have been the absolute worst defensive rebounding team in the NBA.
And it's hard to understand, Kevin, because they have created second chance opportunities for themselves only to give it back on the other end. That's the kind of thing that can be demoralizing for your defense. You get a stop, but you don't finish the possession with a rebound. That can wear you out physically and mentally.
Last season scored the most second-chance points in the NBA. In the third spot, the Timberwolves.
This was a team that was really savvy when it came to position under the boards and then getting those offensive putbacks.
Pass to Graham. Off the rebound. Here's Towns. And they convert it last on attempt number 3. Towns of the night. He's coming off a 13-point game against Atlanta.
And his scoring is going to get most of the attention, but his rebounding also stood out. He did a lot of glass cleaning in that game.
Towns dishes to T. The shot clock. Pass to Covington. And Embiid pulls it down.
Listen, we know the range game's arsenal, but you wonder should he have moved it just one pass more.
Simmons on the wing. Teague covering. They get it again. Embiid. Towns with the defensive effort.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
Well, late rotation by the defense, and Wiggins has the vision to find the open man.
Richardson the pass to Embiid, and the foul on Andrew Wiggins. That is his first foul of the game. Both teams deciding to change it up. Timberwolves on defense. They trail by 3. Outside, Simmons. Shot clock at 6. Ben Simmons gets the bucket. Simmons got 8 points.
With a consistently improving offensive game, Simmons is lethal whenever he's on the court.
Now Napier. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Miami.
Yeah, don't forget how great he was drawing contact and getting himself to the free throw line. Picked up a ton of easy points there.
The 76ers leading by 3. And it's Simmons penetrating. And Harris wide open. He shoots, and he's good on the 3-ball.
And passes like that demonstrate the winning mindset Simmons has. A guy that wants to get his team involved.
Here's Towns. Wiggins outside. Takes the 3. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. He's got 5.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Harris outside. Banked in off the glass. Harris has got his second bucket.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Napier feeling it out a bit. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Boy, when you think about the skill that Karl Anthony Towns has, and you realize he's just getting started in the league, his future is truly off the charts. By the midpoint of his career, we could be talking about him as one of the most skilled big men to ever play the game.
The free throw drops for Towns. And with the offensive tool set of Karl Anthony Towns, Doris, he could see MVP consideration in the future.
Well, what we know about Karl Anthony Towns certainly is that each and every night he has a major impact for his team. And consider, he's still growing as a player and ironing out some areas. But this guy is going to be a star for a long time, no doubt.
Good on both. Last season, it seemed like Towns recommitted himself on the defensive end after facing some pretty significant criticism in that department.
You know, he looked like he was playing with a chip on his shoulder defensively. Towns has always had the capability to be a fantastic defender, and I'm really glad that he's focusing on that part of his game as an area to improve.
Now, here's Napier. Defense right on him. Vonleh kicks to Culver. Goes up the baseline. No good off the back of the rim. The 76ers leading by 3. Good drive by Simmons. Lays it up and banks it in. Simmons got 10 points.
I'll tell you, the team is simply riding the hot hand. This guy has been lights out.
Passes it to Towns. Now here's Culver. Guarded by Embiid. Embiid against Towns. Rebound by Joel Embiid. Embiid's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Here's Thibault. Another 3 for Philadelphia.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
And here's Napier. He'll bring it up for Minnesota. 8-point game. got 1:48 left in the first quarter. There's the pass to Culver. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Yet another player from the 2019 draft class who wasn't a top high school recruit. Jarrett Culver, three-star guy, thin, unrefined, but in that sophomore year of college, boy, did he surprise some folks.
First one at the line is good. And Greg, when you talk about Culver, the one thing he did show in high school and again showed at Texas Tech, the ability to score.
Yeah, and he creates and makes shots against great defenders. Every team in the NBA is looking for that. His jumper, his handle, his ability to move without the ball, already NBA level stuff.
And so he makes both from the line.
And Culver's game just screams potential. Already a good scorer, rebounder, and passer. Now the next step, improving that outside shot.
And it's Simmons penetrating. No good from the low block.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
1:16 left here in the opening quarter. Here's Okogie. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That one on Embiid. And Doris last season, rookie Josh Okogie ended up contributing more than the franchise thought he would.
Yeah, he was terrific as a 3-and-D player for the Wolves. This guy could end up being the steal of the draft, sort of in that Robert Covington mold.
First one falls for him. And coming into this season, questions about whether the Sixers could retain their star players. Well, Greg, they shuffled the decks, but they still have great talent.
Swapping in Al Horford for Jimmy Butler, Josh Richardson for J.J. Redick. The Sixers still in the mix to come out of the East.
And he makes both free throws. Here's Korkmaz. 1:03 left in the first quarter. Pass to Ennis. Now here's Embiid. D right on him. Clock is at 3. Here's Simmons. No good that time. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. They come in fresh off a win against the Heat.
Yeah, they took advantage of some porous defense in that one. Really got the shots they wanted.
Give them some credit. I'll tell you this, Greg. They caught an opponent on a very off night defensively, and you take advantage. Simple as that.
And Simmons slams it in.
Yeah, how about the concentration by the 6'10" Simmons? Ridiculously good at completing these chances despite the D's best effort.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. And the 76ers making a change here. Horford's checked in.
One shot.
The first pick in the 2016 NBA draft, Simmons has been a phenomenal addition to our league.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's Okogie. His last outing, he had 8 points. Five to shoot. Fires from deep. No good. Shot missing. And so it's Ben Simmons making highlights for the Philadelphia 76ers. He put together quite a quarter, 13 points in all. And he looks to be planning for more. Right back after this break. Al Horford provided some insight on why he decided to sign with Philadelphia.
what put me over the edge to make this switch is just the depth that I saw with this team. It's an up-and-coming young team that we have a chance to be good for many, many years, and it was something I wanted to be a part of.
Playing for a historic franchise, Greg, they've got, of course, the great fan support, great history, something Horford relishes.
A great choice. A team with depth and youth. They have a chance to be good for a long time.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And what stands out to you guys from the 76ers in this one?
I love their effort, contesting shots, trying to intimidate here early on.
Well, as a shooter, when the ball is sent back in your direction enough times, it can certainly have an impact on your mind.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. Taking a look at the 76ers, you've got Ennis. Horford is out there with Mike Scott. Then it's Simmons. And it's Korkmaz in at the 2 spot. Pass to Okogie. The shot comes out. Nice D from Scott.
I'll tell you, everything went right in terms of execution. He just can't get it to go.
Simmons. Hammer it home! Hammer it home, baby!
That is authority right there.
Feet to Vonleh. And it's Culver, top of the key, and there's the call on James Ennis. That is his first foul of the game. Josh Richardson's checked in for Philadelphia. Here's Okogie. Hits the jumper in space. Okogie's got his second basket of the night. Richardson outside. Passes it to Korkmaz. Back to Richardson. Shot from 12. Vonleh with the rebound.
Boy, against so little defensive pressure, you have to convert that.
Shot is good, and the 76ers lead is cut to just 1 on the basket from Culver.
Well, this is the first full year now for Ryan Saunders. Let's remember he was hired by Minnesota full-time after an interim stint last season. And boy, did the players love playing for him.
Horford gets the bucket.
Well, there isn't a shot Al Horford cannot make. And on the interior, that's easy work for him.
Okogie, the pass to Culver. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Here's Okogie. Here's Vonleh. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. They are coming off that win against Atlanta.
Yeah, and that one, their rebounding was the difference. Big disparity between the two teams.
That was a coach's dream, to get that kind of effort and intensity on the glass, and for it to pay those kinds of dividends, critical.
And as we know, Doris, Ryan Saunders, the son of the late, great Minnesota legend, Flip Saunders.
Well, certainly the family has history with the organization, but in no way did Ryan Saunders get the job due to name only. This guy proved he can get wins from this Minnesota roster last year. For Saunders, he's known as a player development guy, and the ability to handle superstars is part and parcel to the job.
Free throw, no good. Tobias Harris is checked in for Scott. He hits the second from the line. Of course, if I were to ask you right now in the league who has the most unstoppable shot, who would you tell me?
You know what's interesting, Kevin, is I wonder if in the long view of history, James Harden's step-back three will become sort of an identifiable shot with him, the way the sky hook was with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like, you wonder, does that become a signature play for James? It certainly is something that's darn near impossible to stop right now. Well, instead of forcing it all the way to the cup, he just goes with that little teardrop.
Here's Korkmaz, defended by Covington. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. Vonleh was given a lot of minutes to work with last season, and he showed solid improvement.
Well, Vonleh was productive both as a scorer and a rebounder. He made great use of the opportunity presented to him. You think about it, he came into the league at such a young age. You forget he's still years away from what we should consider his prime.
And so he hits the technical free throw.
And for a franchise searching for stability, it doesn't help that the Wolves have had a number of head coaching changes.
Well, obviously, the Wolves aren't alone in that problem, Greg. I think it can be difficult to identify just the right kind of leadership. And when you do get someone like Greg Popovich or Eric Spoelstra or Rick Carlisle, you try to hold on for dear life. Well, you have to love an authoritative finish, and Mr. Covington leaves no doubt.
And you gotta love the mindset of Robert Covington when he plays defense. So active with his hands and feet, rarely gets fooled on any up fakes or jab steps.
Andrew Wiggins, who's checked in for the Timberwolves. Free throw drops for Covington. You know, it's easy to see why, Greg, Covington has been named to first-team all-defense in the past.
The team is noticeably different when his defensive presence is missing. I mean, rare as good as him, both on and off the ball.
Flips to Graham. Here's Vonleh. Outside Teague. And it's blocked, but they recover it. Harris with the ball for the 76ers. They get to take on the Blazers at Portland after this one. It sets in motion a game road trip for them. And here's Richardson. To the inside. Clock at 4. Good. And Harris gets the assist. Harris has got his third assist on the night.
Well, use the pick and going right to the cup. I love the aggressiveness.
Teague finds Wiggins. Floats one up. Rejected by Harris. Korkmaz. And Covington sends it back. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Covington. Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Vonleh. Richardson outside. Clock at 6. The shot missing. Towns with the defensive effort. To the middle. Here's Covington. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Covington's got it all tied up now for the Timberwolves. Philadelphia shooting at 50% in a decent groove. Richardson against T. Harris outside. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Well, you look at the career of Tobias Harris, and boy, he's bounced around a bit. Has never slowed his development or production, though. You put him anywhere, and he'll find a way to help his team.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. And with Harris, he's been moved so many times. You know what, Greg? You forget he's still quite young.
Yeah, I mean, he really is just starting to enter what should be the prime of his career. Has improved every offseason and is a great rebounder and scorer.
He's off on the second. For Minnesota, they've gone 6 of 12 in the second quarter, right at the 50% mark from the field. And it's Wiggins missing. The 76ers leading. Here's Thibault. Here's Horford. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Robert Covington picks one up.
You know, if you give him the opportunity, Al Horford will seek contact. He wants to get to the line.
shooting 2.
And the first one drops.
I'll tell you, for all the intangibles that Al Horford brings to the table every night, the leadership, there is such a humble, authentic, unselfish nature that I think sets the tone for the whole team.
So Horford gets 2. And the veteran leader, Al Horford, a calm, quiet locker room presence, Doris, but his words carry a lot of weight.
No doubt, Kevin. Why? Because he's always team first, because he plays the game the right way, and this helps create a culture of winning. It's why Al Horford is so coveted. Boy, for all the talent Andrew Wiggins brings to the table, you wonder what his assessment of the 2018-19 season is. Obviously, he took a step back in terms of his production, and I think that had a lot to do with his lack of consistency with his shot. He's got a ton of talent. Let's see where it takes him.
He misses the free throw. And with Wiggins, Doris, and his struggles last year, he seemed to be relying more on his outside shot.
You wonder if Wiggins feels the pressure of an NBA that now so heavily emphasizes that three-point shooting. But his strength, to me, is putting the ball on the deck, attacking the rim, and relentlessly going at defenders. He's got to get back to that.
And as talented as Andrew Wiggins is, there are games, Doris, when he can fade into the background, and his team needs him the most.
Yes, and the questions become, is he passive? Is he disengaged on the offensive end? And that, I think, can be frustrating, because people around the league will tell you that this young man is as talented and as skilled as any player in the league. It's really, for Andrew Wiggins, about finding a measure of consistency.
And the Timberwolves call time here. Doris, you and I and a lot of the people that cover this league see some very strange things, and I think about Ben Simmons with the 76ers. Phenomenal at almost everything he does on the floor except shooting the ball, which is so strange.
It's crazy, Kevin, and when you think about how important shooting is to today's NBA, that he could be an all-star caliber player without it is nothing short of remarkable. 6'10", maybe fastest player end-to-end with the ball in his hand, extraordinary vision in the open floor. But Kev, I believe, and I wonder what you think, does he need to add that jump shooting?
Well, he's got to, Doris. I mean, if he wants to be the kind of player he thinks he is and where he wants to go. I don't know how you can play in this game and not shoot the ball.
He's going to be exposed. Exactly right.
And let's see the stat sheet here on Joel Embiid. Coming off a terrific season. Averaged about 27 points a game last season, 13 rebounds, and 3 assists. And what is crazy is that these numbers might not even do his game justice. He's been phenomenal.
Feels like every night this guy does something that just blows your mind. So fun to watch, someone the other players look up to.
And Towns gets it to go.
Yeah, this is one of the better catch-and-shoot bigs in the NBA already. Towns doing everything these days.
Pass to Harris. Pass to Horford. Just 5 to shoot. The 76ers need to get off a shot. Thibault. Philadelphia with the new shot call. And the call will be against Al Horford. That'll be his second foul of the game. Timberwolves trail by 3. Outside, Towns.
Another foul would give him 3 before the half. Something to keep an eye on, guys.
The Timberwolves have shot the ball pretty well from the line, going 8 of 11. And he knocks down the first one.
He does a great job of drawing contact and getting himself to the line, something he didn't do in the first period.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line.
And the problem for Wiggins, a former overall #1 pick, people always seem to want more from him, whether it's warranted or not. This guy reads situations so well, and he knows how to execute.
And Teague's got the ball here for the Timberwolves, trailing by 4. They've got the Wizards ahead of them, their next game in Washington. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Wiggins kicks to Teague. And stolen by Richardson. And now Philadelphia on the break. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. For Philadelphia, they have scored 6 points from their 8 attempts at the line so far.
And last season, 77% from the line. They could usually get the job done there.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first. And the 76ers making a change here. Simmons is checked in. And so he hits both.
The way he's shooting free throws tonight, you simply don't want to put him there.
Passes to Towns. And it's Joel Embiid with the rebound. Embiid's got his 8th rebound here tonight. Here's Richardson. The shot will not fall. Wiggins with some nice D.
Well, when you've been struggling as he has, you love that your teammates have really stepped up and taken the challenge.
Towns kicks to Wiggins. To shoot. Minnesota needs to get off a shot here. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. And the 76ers with possession. They're on a 13-5 run. A nice shot by Harris.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Here's Teague. Up again. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Fact of the matter is, Karl Anthony Towns could be a menace on the glass. Good luck with this guy.
Thibault, the pass to Embiid. Here's Thibault, defended by Towns. And the rejection by Towns. Here's him. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That one is on Towns.
I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul. Well, what's not to like about Joel Embiid? A physical specimen at over 7 feet tall, all the skill in the world, and a personality made for stardom.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. You talk about Embiid's personality, whether it's on the court or through social media. Greg, he's not shy speaking his mind.
One of the best trash talkers in the league. He doesn't hold back, but it's never personal. He's embracing the spirit of competition.
Mike Scott's checked in for Josh Richardson, and Embiid drops them both.
And they struggled a bit at the line in the first quarter, but they have been terrific in the second, up to almost 85% overall.
Napier with it. Drops one in from the wing. Napier's got 6 points.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
You know, we see this all the time, Greg. You're basically, as a defender, hoping the man misses rather than putting in the work to get over screens.
Embiid, and stolen by Napier. And here they come. A shot by Culver, nobody around. That shot misses. Now the 76ers take it the other way.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Well, that play is so much about his reach and determination affecting the game defensively.
Here's Layman, guarded by Harris. Scott against Covington. Baseline J on the way. Off the left rim and out. Sixers leading by 6. 1:07 left here in the second. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here's a peek at the league's top scorers from a season ago. 4th, Joel Embiid.
And looking back, his points per game really underscored the fact that he never took a game off. I mean, one special performance after another all season long.
First free throw is good. The Timberwolves making a switch here. Okogie's checked in. Both shots good from the stripe.
And it took them a while to find their touch at the line, but they have been red hot here in the second quarter.
Now here's Napier, guarded by Simmons. Napier dishes to Towns. Now here's Napier, not a lot of room. And Embiid with the block. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And it's Harris with the ball for the 76ers. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. Thibault, the pass to Simmons. We've got 28 seconds left in the first half. Shot clock at 6. Here's Thibault. And he can't extend the lead to double digits.
And after nailing a three-pointer in the first quarter, he has yet to connect here in the second.
Okogie, the pass to Culver. Now here's Napier. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Well, he's got moves and counter moves inside. Towns makes the defender pick his poison.
The Timberwolves gone 9 of 13 from the line. And he makes the first.
Make no mistake, Karl Anthony Towns has all the skills necessary to be amongst the best players in the league. What a problem he poses for defenses, guys.
And Towns drops them both.
Boy, a really soft touch on display. It is a luxury to have a big man who can hit from the line at a consistent rate.
And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Andrew, they shot the lights out in the first half. What has to change?
Get back. Focus on getting back, guarding your man, and not taking these real.
It starts with a man-on-man challenge. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet, Kenny Smith. Let's get to it. Ben Simmons had it going on in the first quarter. He ended up with 15 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
With everything Ben Simmons gives you, the scoring is gravy. But in the first half, he was aggressive with his offense, getting his shots to go down. A welcome sight for this team.
How about you, Shaq? What'd you think about Minnesota?
They got to get more aggressive on the glass. Over the first half, we saw them being schooled down low. You know what I'm going to say, Ernie? Barbecue chicken. If I was coach in the locker room right now, they'd be getting an earful. Extra rebounding. Effort will pay off in other ways. The energy is really where it starts. Something like that, Ernie.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks for joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. What a game we're seeing from Simmons.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
And part of that has to do with his mindset. He has been looking to push the action at every opportunity, and he has been in attack mode all night.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Checking out the group now for Ryan Saunders to start the second half. Covington at the 4 with Towns in at the 5. Teague is at the point with Wiggins at the 2. And it's Graham in at the 3 slot. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. Here's what the Minnesota Timberwolves have lined up on their schedule. On Saturday, they'll go up against Bradley Beal and the Washington Wizards. And then on Monday, they'll take on Chris Middleton and the Milwaukee Bucks. Teague the pass to Graham. And the pass to Wiggins. Outside Teague. Back to Wiggins. It's not going to go for him. Simmons with the defensive effort.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
Richardson kicks to Simmons. Now Horford. Back to Simmons. Goes up to the stripe. It's rebounded by Towns.
Right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Here's Covington, and terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. Covington's got the first bucket of the third here for the Timberwolves. The 76ers leading by 4. Richardson outside. And they double up Simmons. Back to Richardson. So it's Richardson with the jam.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And Doris for Jeff Teague. He's not expected to be the scorer on this team that he once was.
And for Teague, to me, that is a blessing, as he is much better suited as a distributor of the basketball. He's got great vision, he cut down on his turnovers, and therefore his assist numbers increased.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw missing. So it's such an honor to be on this with you, and you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst, breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college, looking to get ahead in their career in what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder than you.
Thanks, Kev. What a beautiful stroke from range. Defensively, you've got to try to take him out of his comfort zone.
Richardson the pass to Simmons. Over Teague, and Simmons gets it to go on the assist by Richardson. Richardson's got his third assist on the night. Timberwolves trail by 7. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Wiggins against Harris. Covington trying to break free, and that one's good. Wiggins has got 11.
Well, how about the aggressiveness of Andrew Wiggins? So good at fighting through the contact, taking the challenge of the defense. That's beautiful.
Simmons slams it in.
And there is no better way to add to the lead.
Isn't that true, GA, especially when the slam is coming from the point guard?
That's got to be a little bit deflating to the defense, guys. Getting kicked when you're down. My goodness.
And the Timberwolves call time here.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And the question they're going to have to answer to me is it a problem with the scheme or is it a problem with matchups?
For Tobias Harris. Last season, he played outstanding. He's averaged 20 points a game, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. He's been nothing short of fantastic during that stretch. Offense coming very easily for him.
And so much of it to me is his ability to read the floor, make the right decision, and then go right after the action he wants.
Simmons against T. Kicks it to Wiggins. And so the Timberwolves will retain possession here. Korkmaz checked in for the 76ers. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter.
Well, that's just inconsistency from him, and it's happened all night, and it hasn't helped their cause.
Pass to Horford. Shoots over Graham. Horford no luck. And so Graham will bring it up for Minnesota. 7-point differential. Towns against Embiid from the left block. Releases. Towns with the bucket. Towns has got 14.
If Karl Anthony Towns is feeling it, he will command the basketball. And as a coach, that's what you're hoping for.
Wiggins against Richardson. He feeds it to Simmons. Full dish, and the layup goes down. Simmons got 8 points here in this quarter.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
T kicks to Graham. Towns down low. Embiid's there. That's good, and the 76ers lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Towns. Richardson outside. Pass to Simmons. Floats one, and the rejection by Towns. Richardson for 3, rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns has got 11 rebounds in the game. And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Well, you think about Robert Covington's evolution since entering the NBA. When he started his career in Philadelphia, he got on the floor because of his defensive versatility. But credit this young man's work ethic because he put a ton of time in to become a respectable shooter.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Conley's checked in. And that one misses. And with Covington, he really has catapulted himself into one of the elite wing defenders, Doris, in the NBA.
And consider after he was traded, he took more of a leadership role because he was the best defender on the roster. And you know this, wherever he has gone, Robert Covington has made a huge difference on the defensive end of the floor.
Teague can't hit.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
Pass to Simmons. And the rejection by Towns. Here's Teague. And no good that time. Simmons with the defensive effort. The 76ers leading by 3. Now the feed to Horford. And the dunk by Horford.
Well, what a pleasure to watch Al Horford go to work. Does all the right things, and that time gets an easy dunk.
Timberwolves have gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far. Teague finds Wiggins. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net. Philadelphia has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Richardson the pass to Simmons. Over Vonleh. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Towns has got rebound number 13 for him here tonight. Wiggins got a piece of it and stolen by Richardson. Here's Korkmaz. It doesn't go for him. And Minnesota now the other way. Teague left side. Now the pass to Towns. Now here's Covington. For the tie. Simmons pulls it in. Here's Richardson. Heed shoots over Covington. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Robert Covington picks one up. And the first one at the line is good. James Ennis, he'll check in for Simmons. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Lehman, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Okogie comes in for Robert Covington. Culver's checked in for Wiggins. And Shabazz Napier subbed in for Jeff Teague. And Embiid drops them both. Here, he's got 6. Pass to Culver. And here's Napier. Pass to Vonleh. To the left wing. Just 5 on the clock. A nice shot by Culver.
Shooting off the catch is about confidence. There, Culver demonstrating how it's done.
Richardson outside. Passes it to Horford. It's good. The assist that time for Menace. 14 points for Horford.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Napier passes to Okogie. Good work defensively by Horford.
Fantastic positioning there to contest that one.
And this is what the really good defensive players do. They anticipate and they're rarely fooled.
From the arc, cranes the three-pointer. Korkmaz got the lead up to 8 now for Philadelphia.
And no matter who it is, that kind of D isn't going to get it done.
Now, here's Culver. He's covered closely. With the break in the action, we've got a chance now to look at last year's top rebounders. Second, Joel Embiid.
What a season he had in the paint. I mean, his rebounding numbers, really mind-boggling. Who wouldn't love to have a guy like that?
Shooting 2.
Drops for Culver. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Here's Richardson. He's got 8. He kicks it to Horford. Here's Thibault. Back to Horford. And Lehman pulls it down.
Well, defensively, if you allow him to get this close, you're playing with fire. He just happened to miss that one.
Here's Okogie, guarded by Embiid. Napier up top. He has 6, just 4 to shoot. Here's Vonleh. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
Another shot. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line.
That's good from Richardson. And the 76ers making a change here. Scott's checked in. Towns, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. And Richardson drops them both.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
The pass to Towns. The shot, no good. Good work defensively by Horford. Ennis with the ball. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Off target there, that would have pushed the lead to double digits. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Now, here's Culver. 8 points for him. And it's sent back by Horford.
Well, this is how Al Horford gets on as a rim protector. His anticipation and his positioning are exceptional.
And so it's Minnesota with it. Pass to Culver. Doesn't go that time.
And really credit their advantage on the backboard. That's where the lead has been built, and that's why they are in control.
Thibault. That shot off the mark. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way.
Boy, a forgettable night for him, but thankfully his teammates have played well overall.
Outside, Towns. And it's off from three-point range. And so it's Ennis bringing it up now for the 76ers. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. Down low. Here's Scott again with the block.
A defensive stalwart so far. That's 6 blocks.
Greg protecting the rim. Love the hustle.
This guy is putting his fingerprints all over the game in this quarter. He has flat out dominated the offensive end.
Okogie, the pass to Towns, and the shot goes down. Towns has got 18 points.
Well, this guy's been a prolific scorer on the interior from his first day in the league. Karl Anthony Towns getting the job done in the painted area.
There's 39 seconds left in the third. Pass to Thibault. Clock at 6. With a step back. And he overshot that one, missing.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And what you love about his work defensively, the ability to challenge and change shots without fouling.
Tobias Harris is checked in for the 76ers. Here's Okogie. He's got 9. Ball's knocked loose. Here's Thibault. It's good. Thibault's got the lead up to 10 now for Philadelphia.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
Greg, to me, this has simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. 76ers ahead. They're up by 10. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
And, Greg, nothing better than chemistry, right? Working together to create a bucket.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. Timberwolves trail by 10. Tobias Harris is out there with Mike Scott. Then it's Josh Richardson. Then it's Ennis. And it's Thibault in at the shooting guard position. That's the group in the game for the 76ers.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far. Ooh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
Going for the throat. Timberwolves trail by 13. Now Napier passes it to Layman.
And that fourth foul, guys, might force him to scale back the aggression from a defensive standpoint. He does not need, nor does the team need, number 5.
Oh, here's Napier. Richardson covering. 5 on the clock. Bounce pass Napier. Here's Towns. A second chance effort, and he lays it up and in. Towns has got 20.
Well, takes contact, keeps his balance. Nice finish by Towns.
Richardson kicks to Harris. Now the pass to Thibault. Back to Harris. And make a foul, so he's got the and one to get a three-point play.
Unwilling to let moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
And the 76ers making a change here. Simmons is checked in. That's good from Harris. Timberwolves trail by 14. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Here's Culver, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That's on Ben Simmons.
And credit the aggressiveness there. I love it whenever Culver is looking to score. It focuses the defense on him and still able to get the job done.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. The second. Field leading by 13. Here's Simmons, and Simmons slams it in.
And really, Simmons is nearly impossible to contain when he's sprinting to the hoop. An athletic behemoth who causes defenders fits.
Towns, good, and it's Napier with the assist that time. And it's now 22 points for Karl Anthony Towns. The 76ers have gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the fourth quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. It's tipped. Graham surveying the floor. Towns up top. Kicks to Napier.
Hey, yo, right here.
6 on the shot clock. Pass to Layman. Launches it. Here's Towns. Makes it off the glass. Towns has got 24 points.
You have to appreciate the doggedness and intensity on the glass. Wow.
Harris dishes to Simmons. Puts it up from 12. Kept alive.
The defense did a really good job of choking off the middle there once he got inside.
Graham, the pass to Culver. And here's Napier. Towns down low, defended by Scott. The lead now in single digits. He's got 26.
And they've shown a little extra hustle on the offensive glass here in the second half. Second chance points are starting to add up for them, and they can use every one of them.
Timeout called the 76ers.
And looking to stop this run and get back on track.
Really needs to settle his guys down right now and get them refocused.
Embiid, he's checked in for the 76ers. Timberwolves also changing it up. Robert Covington's checked in for Layman. Andrew Wiggins comes in for Culver. And it's Teagan for Shabazz Napier. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Brett Brown's huddle with his team. He said, keep grinding. We're in good shape. Things aren't always going to go perfectly. Don't let that slow you down. Let's just stick to what got us here. Kevin, we'll see if they can build on this lead.
Gotta admire the hard work by Simmons, a genius at drawing contact.
Two shots. Last on the first.
And he knocks down the first one. And the 76ers making a change here. Korkmaz is checked in. And Simmons drops them both. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. They get a hand on it. Teague, the pass to Graham. On the shot clock. Pass to Towns. Now Graham, defended by Scott. And it's Graham missing.
Has been off the charts.
Korkmaz kicks to Simmons. Scott dishes to Simmons. Up from 12. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Graham's got his fourth rebound in this one. Left side, Covington. Count that as his seventh field goal in 9 tries. He's shooting 78%.
Boy, Robert Covington catching fire and doing work.
Wiggins. Simmons passes to Korkmaz. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Embiid finds Simmons. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Well, some of these players are making more money on endorsement deals than on their NBA contracts. I mean, I just shake my head at that, don't you?
It's an amazing time in which we live because the power of social media and the understanding of today's athlete that their brand is significant and that their brand extends outside of the lines of competition. You see so many men who have overseas opportunities, whether you're talking Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Donovan Mitchell. They understand the power of the face and the talents they bring to the table. Truly, truly remarkable young men.
Remarkable indeed. And the second free throw, good. And Teague's got the ball here for Minnesota, trailing by 10. Outside, Towns. Wiggins against Harris. And Towns the bucket on the assist by Wiggins. Wiggins has got 3 assists in the game. Philadelphia leading by 8. Kicks to Korkmaz. Back to Simmons. Second chance shot as it goes. 15 points in just the second half.
+8 differential. One more reason why they're in control.
To the middle. Here's Covington. Bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Teague against Simmons. To Harris. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And last year, a tough one for Jeff Teague. Just couldn't put together his normal level of play.
You know, Teague missed some games with injury, but his shot just wasn't consistent. His passing and playmaking were as strong as ever, but you just couldn't rely on him to score.
He's off on the first.
And as many times as we've seen him at the free throw line tonight, I think by now we know what's going to happen.
Al Horford, he's checked in for Mike Scott. Good on the second free throw. Is Teague. Outside, Towns. He kicks to Wiggins. Fires the 3. It's hauled in by Harris. Harris has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Simmons trying to get open. Harris misses. Timberwolves trail by 9. And here we go. Here's Covington. He can't get that one to fall. Good work defensively by Horford. Here's Harris. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons had 6 assists in the game.
Well, he's been shooting it so well because he's been so active, moving and working to get high percentage shots.
Outside, Towns. Dishes it to Wiggins. Teague against Simmons. Shot clock at 6. From deep. Rebound by the 76ers. Harris has got his 6th rebound on the night. And that one's good. Simmons got 17 points here in the second half.
The incredible focus of Simmons. Nothing gets to this guy, even when he's getting bodied by the defense.
Teague finds Towns. Wiggins outside. The pass to Teague. Outside, Covington. From deep three-point range. Good D by Embiid.
And when you are as good a shooter as he is, you have the confidence. You have to have the confidence to take that shot. It might not always fall.
And for most guys, I think you only want to take that shot if you've hit a few in a row. That is absolutely a heat check.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Well, the passing ability of Higgins on display, and ask anyone, they'll tell you he's a great team guy.
Korkmaz kicks to Horford. Back to Korkmaz. Simmons looking around.
Oh, that was the alley-oop textbook, boys.
Perfectly done. You're right. He put it on a platter for him. Pass to Graham. Now here's Towns. Towns is double. Here's Graham. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Towns has got his 3rd assist on the night.
Well, that's how you bring out the best in your teammates. Towns is a prolific scorer, but guess what? He'll find you if you're open.
Simmons passes to Korkmaz. On the wing, Harris. And he can put points.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Pass to Towns. Shoots over Embiid. Towns, no luck.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Simmons dishes to Embiid. Kicks to Harris. Beyond the arc. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Tremendous job by Robert Covington to get the defense committed and draw the contact. Nice.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls.
What a terrific story Robert Covington is. Gets undrafted out of college, goes to the G League and becomes an MVP, and now one of the very best defenders in the NBA. Truly an incredible journey.
Richardson, he's checked in for Korkmaz. Jake Layman's checked in for Minnesota. That one is no good.
And we come back to it again and again. If you're just looking at points and rebounds, you really miss Al Horford's impact. It goes way deeper than the box score.
And some detractors have looked at Horford's stats, and Greg, they said he's not an all-star. Even Sports Talk Radio calling him average Al.
Nonsense. I mean, still a great defender, efficient scorer, elite passer as well for a big man. Then you get to his leadership. Big Al is the total package.
First one falls for him. And Richardson drops them both. And Teague's got the ball here for the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's a 14-point game. Passes it to Towns. Towns is doubled. And there's the pass to Layman. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Layman's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. The 76ers have got a pretty good rhythm going offensively, shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter. Simmons passes to Embiid. Shoots over Towns, out to Harris. Shot clock at 5. Here's Richardson. Wiggins whistle.
He's at the cup, but that is tremendous defense. Prohibit the lay-in without fouling. Have to love the ball distribution. Keep everyone involved.
The 76ers leading by 9. 1:30 left in the game. Pass to Horford. He kicks it to Richardson. Wiggins with the block.
Using every bit of that 7-foot wingspan, Wiggins airmailing it back.
And stolen by Simmons. Simmons slams it in.
And with the pace of today's game, transition defense is at a premium.
I don't think anyone was catching him on that play. That is unbelievable.
Here's Towns. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And so he's picked up his final foul. He will sit for the rest of this game. James Ennis, he'll check in for the 76ers.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He drops the first one, brings them to within 10. And Towns drops them both. Simmons with it. 56 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's up. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. He hits the first one, and that will push the lead to double digits. And the 76ers with some changes. Kyle O'Quinn is checked in for Horford. Smith comes in for Josh Richardson, and it's Burke in for Simmons. And Harris drops them both. 4 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Okogie. The 3. It's hauled in by Harris. Now here's Burke. Smith outside. He's left to play here in the fourth. Lock at 6. To the paint. Here's Harris.
Clearly a foul.
First free throw is good. drops them both. There's 14 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. It's Bell, top of the key. Back to Napier. And he uses the glass on the layup.
Well, defensively, to me, you've got to do a better job communicating once the screen comes.
So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. A confident win and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built off that edge of being here and play with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.